Alright, let's get back into it, friends and fans. Welcome back to Wargame European Escalation PACT Mission 4 Part 2. Doing something a little different this time. I'm now recording in Fraps while I'm watching a replay of myself play this. So basically, I'm going to be watching myself play while I give commentary, so that way I can deal with a lot of the complex tasks in the game. Now, as you can see, now that we've taken the center area where the forward operating base is, the Allies have come in with a lot of anti-tank helicopters, including those Mi-8 TVs, which are absolutely deadly against armor. Now, as you can hear there, I'm losing a few vehicles. I lost 2 Shilkas, and Mi-24Ds moving in to deal with the Mi-8 TVs, which are primarily an anti-vehicle, anti-armor weapon. Now, the enemy is going to flood in now with a lot of anti-tank air, a lot of anti-armor air. So I'm getting everything off the street. Basically, I'm fleeing towards the forest, so that way I can bring up a few more 2K12 Cubs, and bringing up a lot of those. In fact, I think I counted a total of 8 there. Getting BMPs off the road. One of the BMPs was destroyed there. And basically what you want to do is you want to capture this forward operating base and then go into defensive mode. The enemy brought up some Pragas there, which is some... Losing another vehicle, 2 T-64s destroyed by 2 groups of Gazelle HOTs, which are more anti-armor. Those are French helicopters. Those are now going to be dealt with the Mi-24, 2 groups of Mi-24Ds, which have a pretty good Gatling cannon that can take out those lighter helicopters. Luckily, with those Mi-24Ds up, we can deal with a lot of the air that's flying around. But now here comes trouble to deal with what the Allies have brought out, what the NATO forces have. Those are Czechoslovakian Mi-8 TVs. So those are going to be yeah, kind of our own equipment that we're destroying in a sense. Mi-24Ds now opening fire on the Praga anti-aircraft guns that were there. Mi-8 TV now moving in to try to destroy those UAZs, and unfortunately destroyed by the Cub that was brought there. Losing 1 Cub, losing a couple, one or two of everything. Not too bad considering that there's helicopters all over, including that corner there. You can see that there's a few more of those. I'm going to bring those Cubs back to deal with that. Now, those Cubs are awesome with range, and those are going to be highly valuable for future missions. And so here, I'm trying to play it safe and hide everything, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to rescue our encircled comrades on the other side of this hill, and the best way to do that is to not get killed ourselves. And so we want to bring the most amount of units that we can to the battlefield. As you can see, the Akatsia there, just left of Boris is opening artillery fire on some infantry hiding there, and the Mi-8 TVs are being dealt with by the, oh yes, almost destroyed there by 1 Cub hit. Let's see if a second one, very close by with those Cubs. Supplying those with the Ural trucks, make sure that every missile battery that you have, every artillery piece has a truck next to it, or at least close by, so it can still be effective. Infantry there covering the Akatsi artillery in the woods. And supply trucks now pretty much have free range. Forward operating base captured and an Mi-24D destroyed. Very unfortunate. Some type of a close range, anti-aircraft missile system must have hit it. Cubs now opening fire at more Mi-8 TVs that are just guarding this hill like the hornet's nest. It is absolutely crazy. I should have brought up some of those Cubs to begin with. I did know that attack was coming, but never a bad idea to always have long and medium range air cover out. As you can see, more supply units moving about, especially the emptied ones are going to be moved back to that FOB. And basically what you want to do here then is, as you can see, I have Fedor completely secured with armor and anti-aircraft units, and we have the road along the way secured to it. So just as our plan before, to secure the way all the way up towards the top of the map, Anna, Boris, and Fedor are secured, and our next target then will be Elena once we can destroy some more of these helicopters that are patrolling the areas. And as you can see, they're still coming. Still damaging units, no real destruction. We'll probably lose a Cub here. and that we did. Very unfortunate, but we do have a lot of these units, and these units are they're highly valuable. But you're going to lose some, especially against these Mi-8 TVs. I can bring out some anti-helicopter air, or counter helicopters, but it's a little too risky with a lot of the Praga running around. A lot of the enemy artillery is roaming around. Infantry destroyed there. That came out of the woods. More Polish infantry coming through the swamp. They're annihilated by those BMPs that are hiding there in the woods. In the center here with Boris, we basically just have kind of a halfway point connecting Anna and Fedor. Not too much going on there, not too much goes on there, but always keep a little extra defense and always have backup units just in case. If you're going to attack a hill with two groups, or two BMPs, make sure you have 4, because if you lose 2 of them, you'll want some security for counterattacks. As you can see, bringing up more Shilkas, a lot more Shilkas, a lot more Cubs. I've lost too many units with the air roaming around, and don't want to lose any more. Akatsia now being moved towards the FOB. And what you want to do here now is, since we're going to jump from Fedor to Elena, think of these as islands. Once we reach each island, we need to reinforce the island, defend the island, and then bring troops to the island to jump to the next one to replace the losses, and each island is bigger as you go along, so you'll need more to capture each one. As you can see, when we jumped from Boris to Fedor, we got counterattacked at every angle with anti-aircraft, or rather anti-tank units, and getting a little bit of hit down here from the couple of hits from the Prague artillery that's moving forward on those BMPs. BMPs dealing with it. T-72s now moving in. These are heavy units now. 3 T-72As being dealt with by the 3 Mi-24Ds here. They're now moving to the back of the force. T-55s being moved into battle. T-62s being moved into battle. And Mi-24s getting ready to fire their longer range Scalos missiles. Mi-24D moved back after the weapon system was hit and disabled, and the artillery now opening fire on the T-72s, stunning them. T-34 is moving in from the back. These are the 85M1 versions, and Mi-24Ds now unloading on basically everything. They've now potted up really well. Nice big blob on the map for those rockets to hit, so a lot of damage being done. Very good. T-62 is moving straight ahead, and definitely want to watch for counterattacks, whether it's air or ground. So again, keep a good mix of both anti-aircraft, helicopter, and tanks, and infantry as well, to defend those forests against units that will try to roll through like that. 4 BMPs rolling up now. Artillery firing at the I believe artillery is firing at anti-aircraft units up there, destroying more of them. Now these T-72s are panicked. Perfect time for infantry to swoop in and knock them out. A great swipe from the, I guess you could say, the south. These T-72s not really able to engage now. They're too panicked. One unit's destroyed by the BMP-1. Motor Streliki now disengaged or disembarked the units. RPGs unloading like crazy and destroying the final units there. Brilliant. You always want to bring a multitude of weapons to the battlefield, because you want, basically it's like a dirty fight. You want someone to come up behind the M1 Abrams and, hold his arms while you punch him in the gut. You want somebody to stun the tank, and you want to take out the tank. Helicopters are great for stunning and great for destruction too, but when you have armored units on the ground, be sure to use them. Alright, so we're bringing up some more peon now to deal with any type of infantry that we run into in the forest in Elena, any more anti-aircraft. We're also bringing up more Cubs to deal with enemy aircraft, and now that we have $140 to spend, we'll do that on the Conqueror's Bad Fur Day returning to the battlefield. I know, friends and fans, you enjoy that tank as much as I do, and if you enjoy me babbling on about battles, whether it's in Men of War, or Wargame European Escalation, or Summatory Dreams, or what have you, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we now have a new question for the video. Yes, I'm going to start calling this the F.A.Q, which is the frickin' awesome question. Yes, I will think of one as we go along here. I haven't really thought of one yet, but I will have one for you soon. And it looks like more units are being engaged. Looks like artillery now firing from Elena is now hitting everywhere. I'm now spreading my units out just to avoid any damage, especially those cubs. And it looks like Mi-24D is moving around and everything's being refitted, rearmed, and refueled. Ural trucks sitting down there, giving me the idea to bring in more of those, more Ural trucks. You can never have enough supply on the field, especially when your FOB is running out and that's your staging area. And now switching to do a little bit of a save here. You can see my other saved games. I think I cut that out rather well. One complaint about the game is that whenever it would update, it would corrupt some of your older saves. But luckily, it does save your progress from the last mission. So if you have, for instance, 8 missions completed out of, I don't know, 15, it will leave you on mission 8. You'll just have to start over. But BMP's now moving up to enter that forest, and Cubs now moving up to enter the forest as well. A lot of sneaky cover going on, preparing for that final spring into Elena. And I think what we'll do is, now that we're getting closer to the end of the video, it will be time for the frickin' awesome question, the FAQ. And my question then would be to you, do you love using the more advanced units, for instance, bringing out those high-level M1 Abrams? Do you like to hold points and defend until you have high-level units and then bring them out at the end? Or do you just like to kind of Soviet Zergling rush? Do you like to bring out a bunch of $4 T-55s and just cream the enemy with a mix of infantry? Or do you like to hold until the very end and then bring out your highest of high units, your high-level M1 Abrams, A1 Abrams, or the higher level Apaches? What do you like to do? I'll tell you, I like to do a little bit of both, and it depends on the situation. But there's nothing better than waiting till the end of a mission or the end of a battle and unleashing on the enemy. But, you know, to each his own. So let me know down in the comments below, and again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Before we go here, then we'll show you the preparations for the final battle, or as I call it, Preparation H. Lol. What we'll do here is basically we're going to bring up some recon units so we can peek at what the enemy has more. We're going to need more resupplying units. You can see some of those BMP taking the high ground now, the forested high ground, eliminating the enemy from using cover, splitting up that the 4 BMPs into two groups of 2, covering both edges of those forests to cover the road to the right. T-55s now holding the hill, looking out for anything really that would threaten us. That's why I brought those lower level units up. Cubs now moving up to deal with any aircraft that will come in, and infantry will be dealt with by the infantry in the forest as well, not to mention the artillery in the back and the Mi-24Ds that are kind of parked at the bottom of the hill. Everything's ready to go. We do have missiles firing from where I'm not sure, but the T-55s are backing that ass up, and I quickly saw something up there. It looks like, oh, the Salamandria helicopters are firing. I think that's how you say that. I'm not sure. But anyway, Cub now engaging those helicopters. Oh boy, do I hate those helicopters in this mission. They really, at least those are the only thing you have to defeat. Once they're out of the way, you can pretty much roll forward. The enemy is not using a lot of cover here. I would assume once you get to the final objective that the enemy would have a man in every window and every tree would have a sniper in it, but it doesn't seem to be that case. Here, Mi-2 URBs being engaged by more Cubs, and again, the Urals supporting the Cubs, and the Cubs eliminating the aircraft there. More Cubs on the left. Basically, you want the Cubs to maintain a no-fly zone over your units, so always keep them flanked on the left and right flanks, and also defend your flanks too with the units in the rear. Basically, always keep circles that overlap. Have your infantry cover your tanks, tanks cover support units cover everybody, helicopters eliminate any special units, and so on and so on. Oh, very good battle going on here, though. I'm moving up very cautiously due to the fact that I didn't beat this mission very much earlier before. It had been a long time since I'd played this mission, so I had completely forgotten what the enemy had around here. It looks like something got engaged, but it was very quick. I think it was the motor Strelaki here engaging with the Strop 1, which is an anti-aircraft unit, now opening fire on the infantry, and the infantry returning fire with their RPGs. Strops again in the towards the north end of the map there. T-62s and T-55s engaging that. One destroyed already. Second one will soon follow. Hopefully that UAZ is not knocked out. BMP 2 BMPs intact, both squads of infantry intact, losing a few infantrymen on that last assault by those Strops, kind of pulling in as the last-ditch effort to defend. The VPZU, rather the recon infantry, moving in now to see what we got, and they're being pounded down by the Mi-24Ds. I also brought in another UAZ to control Elena at the end. You'll need to capture that. You'll have to secure it, not just clear it. So be sure you have an extra unit around, and or you can just abandon Fedor, but I didn't want to lose out on those points just in case this assault didn't work. So we're bringing out more anti-aircraft, and I had actually thought that perhaps I'd have to defend this hill, but that is not the case. So you do see me bringing out a couple more units than I actually had to. However, it doesn't hurt to have them on the field, 1, just in case, and 2, for the experience. Don't forget that experienced units in single player, even if they're at the highest rank, cost always the same. It's only in multiplayer where they vary in price.